ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 ॐ ऋतगं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात्। हरि ओम, सुप्रभातम, a warm welcome. ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 70. ॐ कामदेवः कामपालः कामी कान्तः कृतागमः अनिर्देश्य वपुर्विष्णुर्वीरोऽनन्तो धनञ्जयः ब्रह्मण्यो ब्रह्मकृद्ब्रह्मा ब्रह्म ब्रह्मविवर्धनः Brahmavid Brahmano Brahmi Brahmagno Brahmana Priyah. This we completed yesterday. Mahakramo Mahakarma Mahateja Mahoragah Mahakratur Mahayajva Mahayajno Mahahavihi Mahakramo Mahakarma Mahateja Mahoragah Mahakratur Mahayajva Mahayajno Mahahavihi. In this wonderful shloka, consisting of 8 names, Bhagavan is referred to as Mahakramaha. Acharya says, Mahantaha Kramaha Padavikshepaha Asyaiti Mahakramaha. The one with a huge step span. What is the step span? One who could take a long step. This is the simple meaning of the word. One who can take a long step, a huge step. Normally in our Laukika Jivana they say, in Kannada there is one saying, Chape iddashtu kal chachu. In the sense, spread your leg as far as the mat is. That's a literal meaning. If you overstep, you may fall, is what they indicate. Bhagavan has got the capacity to have the longest step because everywhere it is He only. 1. 2. He could spread 1 foot on the whole of cosmos and 1 foot on the whole of the celestial world, and then he had 1 more foot in his boon, isn't it? In the Vamana Avatara we say. So that indicates that he could have a long span, a wide span. What does that mean? In every karma, what we take, we have to go as much as possible. Param Puja Gurudev very beautifully once said, everyone must have a goal. And what is that goal? That goal must be so high that you should not be able to reach. Then why have such a goal? Because in working towards that higher goal, unknowingly we will lift ourselves. Whenever I take some workshops for the youth or for the teachers, orientation, etc., I give them one task to them. One volunteer would come, stand here, please touch this TV, let us say. One example. It is very easy to touch the TV. Why? It is very much available for me. It is very much within my hands distance. Then I tell them, here it is fine, why don't you touch the tip of the TV? Then tip of the TV is not as easy as the sides of the TV or the bottom of this TV. One has to put in a little effort to touch the tip of the TV. If it is a short person, that person has to jump to touch. If it is a taller person, the person has to lift his heels. And then he would be able to probably touch without jumping up, he would touch the TV, the tip of the TV. Even if it's a tall person, if I say, you touch the tip of a window which is tall, then he has to either jump to touch or he has to lift himself with another stool or something where he has to raise his level from wherever he is, and then he will be able to touch. In any form, you will see one has to rise above from the common level to touch a higher level. And if the goal of life is very small, every other day you can finish it, then you will not know what to do. But if the goal is high, and if it is so high that you cannot touch it, that becomes a very inspiration to rise above from where we are. And therefore, Mahakramaha here means have the highest goal. In the spiritual world, highest goal is what? Knowing one's own true nature. I am that Brahman. Aham Brahma Asmi. This Anubhava has to come. This is the highest goal. And Yad Gatva Na Nivartante Tadhama Paramamama says Bhagavad Gita. Once you reach there, there is no return. What more better goal can be? No Punarjanma. Ityadi. So many things are said once you reach the goal. So highest goal is Atma Vidya. Bhagavan is Mahakramaha when it is said, he can reach anything. In fact, there is everywhere it is he only. From the highest standpoint. Even from the relative standpoint, Bhagavan is a Avatara Purusha or Ishvara is one who can reach any heights. You can reach any long. His span is wide. Therefore, he is called as Mahakramaha. So here is a person who can reach any heights, who can achieve any goal, who has achieved very, very high goals. There can be some person who have probably gained about 12 or 13 degrees. I myself know as of a person who has done 7 PhDs. One PhD itself is very difficult. What to talk of 7 PhDs? Therefore, something high. It also indicates every one of us must have higher goals. And the highest goal, of course, is Bhagavan. And therefore, Bhagavan is called Mahakramaha. Mahakarma. Karma is what? Action. Mahat Jagat Utpatyadi Karmaha Seti Mahakarma. He is called as Mahakarma because he has done the greatest action of creation, sustenance and resolution of the entire universe, and therefore he is called as Mahakarma. There cannot be a higher karma to that. Because of his creation, he is called Mahakarma. Mahateja. Point number 1, he is that knowledge of Brahman. He is Brahman. Therefore, there cannot be any greater tejas, brilliance than him. Isn't it? Acharya says, Yadiyena tejasan tejasvinaha bhaskaradayaha tat tejaha mahat asyati mahatejaha. The one of great effulgence. The one who is very, very effulgent. Why? Because he is Swa Jyotihi, Swayan Jyotihi, self-effulgent. And he is a light of lights, including in Surya, Chandra, Tarakani, in all illuminaries, he is the light. Therefore, Upanishad says, Jyotisham apita Jyotihi. Such beautiful statements are given. And what is that? Karya Shauryadibihi Dharmaihi Mahadbihi Samalankritaha Itiva Mahatejaha. The one whose expressing or whose action expresses sternness towards those who walk adharma, and shaurya, valor. All these is expressed and it is called tejas, brilliance, and therefore he is called Mahatejaha. Yadadityagatam tejaha jagad bhasayate khilam yat chandramapi yat chagnau tat tejo vidhi mamakam. I am that tejas, and which is there in everything, all luminaries, he is the tejas. Therefore he is called Mahatejaha. Mahoragaha, it's another very beautiful name. Uragaha means snake. Mahauragaha, Mahanscha asau uragahascha iti mahoragaha. What does here mean? It says, the greatest of Sarpas is Vasuki. Bhagavan empowered Vasuki, even a Sarpa. Meaning what? He has the capacity to empower anybody, any being, even from the unicellular organism. And not only that, he himself was everything. He himself is everything. And in the relative standpoint, he empowers everything. And now, He empowered Vasuki to churn in the Samudra Mathana. We all have heard the story. He empowered Vasuki, and otherwise, what a difficult task. Imagine the snake is being circled in the mountain and then pulled on both sides by asuras and devatas. It only means he has given that Vasuki that power, that energy. And in that churning came initially all the poison etc. came, the asuras took and run away thinking it is nectar. But the nectar when it came, it all were distributed to all the devatas. Now there is a very interesting part here. This snake is referred to be as Shastras. And when you churn the Shastra, what you get is immortality. The Shakti is given, complete knowledge is given in the Shastras. But what we need to do is to churn. And then you will find, first, initially, all our wrongdoings will come up to us. While we are churning, we will come to recognize. We will come to locate all the wrongdoings, all the vasanas what we have. And then slowly you will find, and more churning will finally bring the immortality in ourselves. And once that nectar comes in, then one has crossed the ocean of samsara and one gains immortality. And that Shastra is also Bhagavan. Earlier we said, Veda is nothing but Bhagavan himself. And it has come out from Bhagavan only. And here, Mahoragaha, the serpent, Vasuki, is empowered. The Shastras are empowered with knowledge. Here, Vasuki is empowered to help churn the Samudra. Therefore, he is called Mahoragaha. Mahakratuhu. What is Kratuhu? Mahanscha asau Kratuscha Mahakratuhu. The one who is in the form of Kratu. Kratu means what? Yajna, sacrifice. And Mahakratuhu, the one who himself is in the form of sacrifice. Now, 2-3 namas we can go together here because all talk of the same thing. One here, it is called as form of sacrifice, form of yajna. In the next nama, Mahayajva. What is Mahayajva? He himself. Mahanscha asau yajva cheti lokasangrahartham yajnan. Lokasangrahartham, we have to focus on this word a little. Yajnan nirvartayan mahayajva. He himself is the sacrificer, the yajaman of the yajna. He is the yajna, he is the yajaman of the yajna. For what? Lokasangrahartham. We will come to that. Mahayajna, that also is said, the actual sacrifice is Bhagavan himself. Mahahavihi, the oblations that are offered in the yajna is also Bhagavan. Now one very beautiful shloka comes to our mind. What is that? Brahmarpanam brahmahavihi brahmagnau brahmanahutam brahmaivate nagantavyam brahmakarma samadhina. There is one small th has come by mistake, typographical error. It is Brahma Karma Samadhina. Havihi, havis, the materials which are offered, Agni, and then Ahutam, that has been offered, Ahuti, Brahma Eva, everything, Brahma Arpanam, whatever you give, the one who is giving, the havis that has been given, the yajna kunda, everything is Brahma Eva. Therefore, Brahma Karma Samadhina, the action of yajna is also Brahman. And why is it done? Why is the sacrifice done? Loka Sangrahartham. for the sake of welfare of the people. Parampuja Gurudev would roar from his platform, Tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. This one particular pada would give, Gurudev would speak for a long period of time. Yajnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Yajnarthat, what is this yajnarthat? Yajna spirit. This is the slogan he would give. What is the yajna spirit? When everything comes together for the sake of good of everyone. Therefore, and everything is nothing but Brahman only. We need to understand this. In fact, you will find in many of the namas, it is said, that is Brahman, this is Brahman, he is Brahman, she is Brahman, animals are Brahman, bird. Oh, one may wonder sitting, what is this everything Brahman, Brahman, Brahman? Well, then why give so many things? Just say everything is Brahman, over, go. Am I fit enough to understand that simple statement, everything is Brahman? I have not yet matured myself, I don't have the maturity to understand simple statements which says everything Sarvam Brahmamayam. Therefore, a child has to be shown. Think. Now, children, we also say, now see, this is bulb, that is refrigerator, this is heater. The child, wow, what makes the bulb give light? Then you say electricity. What is electricity? Now see, the light in the bulb is electricity. The heat in the heater is electricity. The coolness in the refrigerator is electricity. The noise in the speaker is electricity. Everything is electricity. You may say everything is electricity, but no. Why? I cannot understand electricity. Therefore, what do? I give so many gadgets and say, because of this, all these function. And finally, when we thus give them examples, show them the different gadget and say they cannot function without the power called electricity, the child may come to understand that it is the energy, the power behind the gadget. Still the child will not be able to understand electricity, please. However, the knowledge that without electricity nothing can function will definitely step in. Think. Similarly, everything is Brahman when it is said, a common mind cannot understand. Therefore, it is said, in the Yajna Kunda is Bhagavan. The Havis is Bhagavan. The Agni is Bhagavan. The one who is performing is Bhagavan. For whom it is performed is also Bhagavan. Agnaye idannamama, Agnaye swaha. Idannamama. What is this mama here? The Jiva Bhava. Bhagavan, everything is for you, nothing is mine. Humility steps into the mind. Think. Therefore, Mahahavihi. Thus we find all these are nothing but Bhagavan only. With that, we complete the 72nd shloka. We step into the 73rd shloka. Stavyastava priya stotram stuti stotarana priya purnah purayita punyah punya kirtiranamaya. Stavyastava priya stotram stuti stotarana priya purnah purayita punyah punya kirtiranamaya. Again, similar kind of expression is given in this shloka, where the first 5 names talks of the similar kind like the previous shloka. Stavyaha. Stavyaha means that which is praiseworthy. Sarvaihi stuyate na stota kasyachiti iti stavyaha. The one, in fact, the only one who is worthy of being praised by all. Now in this world we find anybody and everybody is just praised. For what? For benefits. for the sake of gaining some benefit, for the sake of utility oriented value, we praise people whether they deserve it or not. We also know that the praise does not actually belong to him. And the best part is, he also knows that the praise does not belong to him. That is the best part of it. And the action of praise is going on. Probably the other person feels good, even though he knows he doesn't deserve, he feels good. Think. One may one may not at all fit into that bracket of praise. Nowhere near. But when they are praised, they feel happy. That is not what it is. In fact, anybody in this world is not worthy of a great praise because it is not their individuality that has got that ability. Everything, all skills, abilities, talents, everything is nothing but Bhagavan's talents, Bhagavan's ability. And Bhagavan functions through the physical body, emotional mind and rational intellect, and because of the presence of Bhagavan, all these takes place. Therefore, praise has to go to Bhagavan. 1. 2. It does go to Bhagavan only. Whoever praises for anything, it actually goes to Bhagavan only. But it is a human mind which tries to own that praise and gets carried away. Think. All praises go only to Bhagavan. Bhagavan alone deserves that praise. Therefore, he is called Stavyaha. Stavapriyaha. This is another very interesting, confusing name. Why do we say confusing name? Ataha eva stavapriyaha. The one who delights in praise, the one who enjoys people praising him. Now, this is a very interesting name. If it is not understood properly, we will make a mess of it. How? Is Bhagavan also like me? Is Bhagavan also like all the politicians today who wants praise? And there are people who give money and get praised. To that extent we have people. Today we have all these great awards, isn't it? For that, some money has to be paid. People are ready to pay that money and get that award, whether they deserve it or not. Think. So is Bhagavan also one who likes to be praised? There is a difference. Bhagavan enjoys common man praising him. Why does he enjoy? 2 reasons. One is, by common man praising him, the common man comes to know the supremacy of the Lord, and through which he can become humble. He can become simple. This is one reason. Second reason, by praising the Lord in a particular action or in a particular form, man comes to understand that I can also imbibe such good qualities, which will take me closer to Bhagavan. Therefore, I praise Bhagavan. And there is one more point. By praising Bhagavan, my ego is at check. My ego levels are at check. Meaning what? I will not become very egoistic. I will become more humble and simple. This attitude of becoming humble through praising Bhagavan is actually Bhagavan likes. Therefore, Stavapriyaha. Alright, it is not to satisfy Bhagavan's ego. Bhagavan never doesn't have an ego. Another reason why he doesn't have an ego, there is nothing called body, mind and intellect, chitta, ahankara, etc. for Bhagavan, which will get bloated up or something like that. He is beyond all that. Therefore, praiseworthy He alone is. Praises, He alone is. And the one who praises also. The praise, Stotram. What is Stotram? Stuti. Yena stuyate tat Stotram. Guna sankirtana atmakam tat harihi eva. Guna sankirtana atmakam, meaning all the qualities, the glories, the praises of all the gunas belong to harihi eva. It belongs to Bhagavan alone. And therefore, Ishvara himself is in the form of stotra. Now tell me, whenever we chant a stotra like this, Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram, so many namas will say, words without meaning is equal to noise. It cannot be called as a word. And what is the meaning of a stotram? What is the content of a stotram? What is the subject matter of a stotram? Bhagavan only. Therefore, stotram is also Bhagavan. That is why he is also called Stotram. Stavyaha, Stavapriyaha, Stotram, and Stuti. Stuti is also Stotram only. Stutihi, Stavana Kriyapi Harihi Eva. One in the form of the act of praise. Stotram is what? The praise. Stotram is nothing but the praise. And the one who chants those praise is called what? Stutihi. Action of praise is chanting, the act of chanting. Like all of us sit down and then chant Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram together. And while in Mass, when we chant Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram, Bhagavan feels so very happy also. At the same time, even the people who chant feels the joy of the praise. Therefore, Stutihi, the act of praise, is also Bhagavan. Stota. What is Stota? The one who is chanting. Stota api saha eva sarvatmakatvat. Even the one who is chanting is Bhagavan only. Why? Sarvatmakatvat. He is a very Atma in everyone. And therefore, he is Bhagavan only. So, Stavyaha, Stavapriyaha, Stutihi, Stotram, Stota, all of them are Brahmaneva. All are Bhagavan. Ishvara alone. Here, Vishnu alone is Bhagavan. Now the question is, everything you say is Bhagavan, Bhagavan, Bhagavan. And now you say, you do the chanting of Bhagavan. When everything is Bhagavan, where is the question? Where is the need for chanting? The need for chanting is not for Bhagavan. Bhagavan does not need chanting. Chanting, knowing that the chanter, the chanting, the subject of chanting, the meaning of chanting, everything is Bhagavan. Knowing all that, when I chant, my ego is sublimated at the feet of Bhagavan. My mind is quietened through that. My ahankara is reduced through that. Therefore, stotram has to be done. Chanting has to be done. And there are very many people who undermine chanting. They say, oh, without knowing the meaning of the chanting, what is the point in chanting? You only say, no, Swamiji, without the meaning it is only noise. Therefore, why should I chant? When we teach chanting, you say, without knowing the meaning, why should I chant? When we explain, nobody is interested to listen. Tell me, what should we do? Think. This is how mind escapes. This is how mind moves away from the thought of Bhagavan to thought of all Vishaya. The Vishaya Sakti, when it is stronger and stronger, the Brahma Sakti, Bhagavan Asakti will become weaker and weaker. And then you will find, because the Vishaya Sakti are more and more, one falls prey to, gets trapped into all the Vishayasakti, which can only give me pain. Bhavasuke doshaha anusandhiyatam. Why? Because Vishayas cannot give me permanent happiness. When it cannot give me permanent happiness, the pleasure which it gives me, obviously is temporary. It will end. That is a dosha. Whereas Bhagavan is Ananda Swarupaha. Think. Therefore, Shanti Pradaha, the one who will definitely bless us with Shanti, not with reference to the Vishaya Sakti Shanti or joy, but it is totally complete joy, independent of everything. Therefore, one has to take the name of the Lord. One has to withdraw the mind and redirect, rechannelize, reassert oneself that Bhagavan alone is permanent. That which is permanent alone can give me the permanent happiness. Shantam Shanti Pradam. Think. Therefore, Stuti of Bhagavan will give us Shanti. That is why Stavyaha, Stavapriyaha, Stotram, Stota, Stuti, all are Bhagavan only. Just do it. It will give. Then the question comes, by mere chanting, if I can gain happiness, why should I come and learn? It is an additional, what do you call it? Fast track, we may say. I learn the chanting and give myself to that. When I also learn the meaning, my mind will again become very, very capable of quietening itself in the faster way. Because I know the meaning also. Both are equally important. Chanting is also important, meaning is also important. Third point. When I learn the chanting, even if I don't know the meaning, when I learn the chanting properly and regularly chant, the familiarity of the words, most of them are known words, even in our regional languages. Maximum words are Sanskrit only. Though one or two languages don't claim so. Think, maximum languages use Sanskrit as the base. And therefore, when we speak with Sanskrit-based bhasha, we know the meaning of that. Knowing the meaning of the stotra also becomes almost 80% we come to know. 1 or 2 or 3, if we put in a little effort, then we can know the meaning. And therefore, knowing the meaning also is equally important. When we know the chanting and when we know the meaning also, it becomes much easier. Fourth point. Let us say we want to learn the meaning. Without knowing the words properly, where is the question of understanding the meaning? To understand the meaning, one has to know the stotra. Therefore, stotra must be learnt. And then the meaning has to be understood. And then when we chant, it becomes a beautiful experience. It becomes a wonderful experience. Right? Continuing. Ranapriyaha. What is Ranapriyaha? The one who loves battle. Again, another nama which can confuse people. Priyaha Ranaha Yasya. The one who loves battle. Yataha Panchamahayudhani Dhatte Satatam Lokarakshanartham. For the sake of protecting people, he takes battle. He takes weapons. Incidentally, you will find most of the deities in our Sanatana Dharma have got some weapons. Some of them have got a large number of weapons. Like if you see the Mahakali picture, you will find she is having so many hands and so many weapons. All types of weapons are there with her. Then one may think, oh, these are gods and all the time very, very Rajasic. And they are so disturbed probably. They always want to be in battle, fighting. And then they claim Bhagavan is Shanti Swarupa. How is it possible? Isn't it contradicting? The understanding here is Bhagavan is Shanti Swarupa. At the same time, he is ready to face the challenges. Think. Within ourselves, all the Rakshasas are there. Nobody is spared. Therefore, we require the weapon of knowledge. We require the weapon of quietude. Quietude is also a weapon. Think. All these weapons will fight all the negativities. And Bhagavan enjoys fighting the negativities. He doesn't have negativity, but he is ready to fight the negativities in his devotees, for his refugees. Kill all the negativities and take them, embrace them with himself. Therefore, the one who enjoys removing the negativities of the devotees and embrace them with love and bless them with peace, P-E-A-C. Think. Therefore, he is called Ranapriyaha. Purnaha. Purnaha, the one who is complete. Sakalaihi, kamaihi, sakalabhihi, shaktibhischa, sampannaha iti purnaha. The one who has everything, who is complete. There is nothing called need. There is nothing called want. All of us have got desires. Show me one person who is absolutely desireless. If anybody is there, please come, we will replace that Vigraha with your photo. Or you yourself can sit, we will do Aarati for you. Who is there without desires? All of us human beings or any Jantu have desires. In fact, the very Janma is because there are desires. Think. Vasana kshayartham jananam. We have all of us got desires. What is the etymological meaning of a desire? A desire is wanting something that I do not have. When I say wanting something that I do not have, that means I have the sense of incompleteness in me. To remove the sense of incompleteness and enjoy the sense of completeness, I am complete. For that sake, I want this, I want that, and every man thinks, if that is there, I will be complete. If this comes to me, I will be complete. If that person is in my life, I will be complete. Another person says, if this person goes away from life, I will be complete. Think. This sense of completeness is what every one of us are struggling for. If this sense of incompleteness is removed, then we are already complete. A man who has eaten full will not want another morsel of food. Why? I am full. I cannot eat further. So even if it is the best food, extremely tasty, he cannot eat. Why? He is full. For some time only. But in this case, it is permanently full. Bhagavan is eternally full. And therefore, since he is complete, he is called Purnaha. Why is he complete? He is everything. He himself is everything. Tatsrishtva tadeva anupravishat. Cause itself is the effect. Therefore, Bhagavan is called Purnaha. We have given three simple this one. Knowledge wise, he is full. Power wise, he is full. Desire wise, he is full. Desire, there is no desire at all, first of all. From the standpoint of Ishvara, we may say, he desires all these people to understand the glory of their own nature only, which is nothing other than Bhagavan. That is again not a desire to be, desire per se. He just wants all of us to enjoy that Ananda Swarupa in each one of us. That's all. But if we, out of our own immaturity, run behind Vishayas and then suffer in the world, Bhagavan again looks at us and enjoys. Ayyo, Mudha. And then he smiles at us. He will never suffer because he is complete. Purnaha. Purayita. If we are not Purnaha, he makes us Purnaha through knowledge. By giving us the knowledge, he gives us the Purnatva. Na kevalam Purnam eva Purayita cha sarvesham sampadbhihi. Therefore, he is called as Purayita, the one who fulfills the need of the devotee and give them the knowledge of the Brahman and make them feel complete. Make them realize that they are Purnam, completeness itself. Therefore, Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. Until then, Problemadaha, Problemidam, Problemat, Problemudachyate. For us, only problem is there. But Bhagavan is Purnaha. Purayita, Punyaha. What is Punyaha? Punya is meritorious. Obviously, not much explanation is required to understand this. Smriti matrena kalmashani kshapayati iti punyaha. The one, by the very remembrance of him, clears, destroys all the sins. Therefore, yasya marana matrena janma samsara bandhanat vimuchyate. He clears all of that. Therefore, he is called as Punyaha. Punya kirtihi. His kirti, his glory is all Punya kirti. There is no Papa kirti. Now in modern days, there are a lot of kirti, but all Papa kirti. Isn't it? People are famous for even Papa karma. We have Saddam Hussein, we have Veerappan, like that so many people are there. In fact, we are telling their names. Quietly sit down in a corner and think of ourselves. We also have Papa Kirti only. But Bhagavan is full of meritorious. Punyaha kirtirascha yataha punyam avahati asya kirtihi nrinamitihi punya kirtihi. The one whose fame itself is punyam, whose fame itself is auspiciousness. Therefore, talking about his name, talking about his glory, one becomes auspicious. One gains lot of punya. And the last word in the shloka, anamayaha. Antaraihi bahyaihi vyadhibihi karmajaihi na pīdyate iti anamayaha. The one who is free from amaya. Amaya means what? All pain and suffering. Physical pain and suffering, mental pain and suffering, all afflictions are called amaya, and the one who has nothing of that, because all of them are born out of karma. Bhagavan is beyond karma. He is not under the influence of karma. Therefore, he is called anamaya. With that, we complete 73 shlokas. We will continue tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.